ever stood in front of your closet, staring at your clothes, and just felt stuck? Maybe the buttons seem too small, or the zipper feels impossible to grip. Or perhaps getting dressed in the morning takes so much energy that by the time you're done, you're already exhausted. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. For those of us living with Parkinson's, even simple tasks like dressing and grooming can become frustrating challenges. But here's the good news. Small changes can make a big difference. In this video, we're going to share 4 adaptive hacks to make dressing and grooming easier, whether you're newly diagnosed or further along in your journey. These aren't just random tips, they're practical, real-life solutions that can help you save energy, reduce frustration, and maybe even bring back a little confidence in your daily routine. Let's start with the first hack, choosing the right fabrics. You might not realize it, but what your clothes are made of can make a huge difference in how easy they are to put on and how comfortable they feel all day. Stiff, heavy fabrics like denim or thick wool can be harder to maneuver, especially if stiffness or tremors make moving a challenge. Instead, try lightweight, fast, stretchy materials like cotton blends or moisture-wicking fabrics. These move with you, not against you. And if you struggle with overheating, something many people with Parkinson's deal with, look for breathable fabrics that help regulate temperature. But it's not just about the material, it's also about the fit. Clothes that are too tight can be hard to wiggle into, while anything too loose might feel unmanageable. Look for adaptive clothing with features like magnetic closures or side zippers, which eliminate the need for tiny buttons or tricky clasps. And if you love your current wardrobe but struggle with fasteners, consider swapping out buttons for Velcro or magnetic alternatives. A few small adjustments can turn a frustrating morning into a smooth one. Now, let's talk about footwear. If you've ever battled with shoelaces or struggled to slide your feet into tight shoes, you know how much of a hassle it can be. That's where adaptive shoes come in. Slip-on styles with elastic openings or hook and loop straps like Velcro can be a game changer. Look for shoes with sturdy, non-slip soles to help with balance and avoid anything with a heavy tread that might catch on carpets or rugs. And here's a pro tip. If you still prefer lace-up shoes but don't want to deal with tying them, elastic no-tie laces let you slip your shoes on and off while keeping them snug. Of course, dressing isn't just about clothes, it's also about grooming. And that brings us to our next hack, simplifying your routine. When buttons and zippers are tough, so are things like shaving, brushing your hair, or even applying lotion. But there are tools designed to help. Electric razors with ergonomic handles can make shaving easier, especially if tremors make a traditional razor feel unsafe. For hair care, try a boar bristle brush. It's gentler on the scalp and can help manage tangles with less effort. And if gripping a toothbrush is difficult, look for one with a wider handle or even an electric toothbrush that does most of the work for you. The key here is to adapt, not abandon. You don't have to give up the things that make you feel like you. You just need to find new ways to do them. And sometimes that means rethinking the tools you use every day. Now that we've covered fabric choices, footwear, and grooming tools, let's move on to the next set of hacks, because there's even more you can do to make your daily routine smoother and less stressful. So, we've talked about how the right fabrics, footwear, and grooming tools can make a big difference in your daily routine. But what about the process of getting dressed? Sometimes, the way we approach a task can be just as important as the tools we use. That's where our next hack comes in, dressing seated. If balance is a concern, or if fatigue hits hard in the morning, trying to put on pants or socks while standing can feel like a high-wire act. And let's be honest, nobody wants to start their day with a fall. Sitting down while you dress takes the pressure off. Keep a sturdy chair with armrests in your bedroom or bathroom, something you can easily pivot on if needed. For pants, try crossing one leg over the other to slide them on, instead of balancing on one foot. And if bending down is tough, a dressing stick or a long-handled shoehorn can help you maneuver clothes and shoes without straining. Socks, in particular, can be a real challenge when finger dexterity isn't what it used to be. That's where adaptive tools like sock aids come in. They're basically a flexible frame that holds your sock open so you can slide your foot in without wrestling with fabric. Pair that with a shoehorn, And suddenly, putting on shoes isn't a battle anymore. Now, let's talk about layering strategically. Temperature regulation can be tricky with Parkinson's. Some days you're freezing, and others you're overheating before you even finish breakfast. Instead of struggling with bulky sweaters or coats that are hard to get on and off, try lighter layers that you can add or remove easily. Cardigans with large buttons or front zippers are easier to manage than pullovers. And if buttons are still frustrating, leave them open. A stylish scarf or shawl can keep you warm without any fuss. Another tip? Opt for open-back clothing if you have a caregiver helping you dress. Things like hospital gowns aren't exactly fashion-forward, but adaptive brands now make everyday clothes with discreet back openings that look completely normal but are way easier to put on. And here's a game changer: Velcro and magnets instead of buttons. Buttons are tiny, slippery, and require precise movements. 3 things that don't always cooperate with Parkinson's. But you don't have to give up your favorite shirt. A tailor, or even a crafty friend, can replace buttons with hidden magnetic closures or Velcro strips. They hold just as securely, but you can fasten them with a single press or swipe. This works for everything from dress shirts to jeans. No more fumbling at the waistband. Now, let's shift to grooming hacks, because looking good shouldn't be a struggle. If applying makeup or shaving feels daunting, try stabilizing your arms. Resting your elbows on a countertop or table reduces tremors and gives you more control. For makeup, switch to cream-based products instead of powders. They're more forgiving and don't require as much precision. And if holding a razor steady is tough, an electric shaver with a pivoting head can help you get a clean shave without nicks. For hair care, consider styles that are easier to manage. A shorter cut might mean less brushing, or if you love longer hair, loose braids or ponytails can keep tangles at bay. And dry shampoo is a lifesaver on days when washing your hair feels like too much. The key here is to work with your body, not against it. Parkinson's might change how you do things, but it doesn't have to take away the joy of feeling put together. Small tweaks, like sitting down to dress or swapping buttons for magnets, can give you back independence and confidence. Now, let's move on to the final hacks, where we'll talk about organizing your space and building a routine that sets you up for success. By now, you've got some great tools in your toolkit: adaptive clothing, seated dressing strategies, and grooming shortcuts that take the struggle out of your routine. But there's one more piece to this puzzle: setting up your space for success. Because when everything has its place and your routine flows smoothly, you conserve precious energy for the things that truly matter. Let's start with your closet. If reaching up for hangers or bending down to low drawers is tough, reorganize for accessibility. Keep your most worn items at eye level, no straining required. Open shelving with bins or baskets can be easier to manage than deep drawers where things get lost. And if you tend to fatigue quickly in the mornings, lay out your next day's outfit the night before. Choose pieces that work together effortlessly so you're not making decisions when you're stiff or tired. For those with tremors or grip issues, small adjustments to your environment can make a big difference. Install pull handles instead of round doorknobs on dresser drawers. They're easier to grasp. Use non-slip mats inside drawers so clothes don't shift around when you're trying to grab them. And if buttons or zippers are still tricky, keep a button hook or zipper pull on a hook right where you dress. No searching required. Now let's talk about building a routine that works for you. Parkinson's symptoms often fluctuate, so your best strategy is flexibility. If mornings are your toughest time, scale back your routine to the essentials. Brush your teeth, wash your face, and get dressed in simple layers. Save more detailed grooming, like styling your hair or shaving, for later in the day when your meds are working optimally. And remember, it's okay to ask for help with tasks that drain you. A caregiver can assist with tricky buttons or shoelaces while you handle the parts that still feel empowering. One often overlooked hack: clothing with a purpose. Brands now make adaptive apparel that looks completely mainstream but has hidden benefits. Pants with side zippers for catheter access, shirts with reinforced shoulders for seatbelt comfort, or even weighted clothing to help stabilize tremors. You don't have to sacrifice style for function anymore. As we wrap up, let's revisit why these hacks matter. This isn't just about getting dressed, it's about preserving your independence and reclaiming confidence. When you're not exhausted by buttons or battling with socks, you have more energy for living. Maybe that means enjoying breakfast with your family, saving stamina for a walk outside, or simply starting your day without frustration. Remember, progress happens one small change at a time. Try just one of these hacks this week. Maybe swap one shirt's buttons for magnets, or sit down to put on your shoes tomorrow morning. See how it feels. You might be surprised how much difference one adjustment can make. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one dressing or grooming challenge you've found a clever solution for? Your tip could be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. And if this video helped you, hit that like button. It lets me know what content matters most to you. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical strategies to live well with Parkinson's. Here's to mornings with less struggle and more dignity, because you deserve to feel good in your clothes and in your skin every single day. Keep adapting, keep thriving, and remember, you're not just getting dressed, you're gearing up for life.